And welcome to the Sean and Renee Show. Hey, y'all.
What's up?
I'm one of your hosts, T. Renee.
And I am Nisha LaShawn.
So I want to remind you guys at the top of the show, do not forget to like, subscribe, and support our channel. I see y'all out there. I see y'all listening. Thank you. Today we have a very, 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 very special guest. His name is Rodney, and he is a Black educator.
Mr. Fresh.
Yes, Lord. Welcome to the show, Mr. Fresh.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys for having me.
Yes.
Now, we had in our mind, like, okay, it's back to school season. We need to talk to a teacher.
Yes.
And Ronnie usually works behind the scenes, y'all.
Yes.
Okay, so when y'all hear us giggling on the hotline with you guys, Ronnie is usually behind the engineering of all that. And it dawned on us, like, Ronnie is a teacher.
Yes.
That's the 9 to 5. Ronnie is the teacher. So we decided to have a conversation with Mr. Fresh.
Yes.
And just talk about back to school.
Ooh, Mr. Fresh, are you ready for back to school, though?
So yeah, I am usually around this time. I'm ready to go back.
Mm-hmm.
So partially excited, partially want a couple more weeks to stay at home.
Right, right,
so.
right. So it's kind of like a balance. Like, yeah, I'm ready, but I couldn't. We could have did this after Labor Day.
And why? Because I remember growing up, it was after Labor Day.
It was always after Labor Day. It was that first either Tuesday or Wednesday after Labor Day school started. I know they're going back during that year-round situation where y'all have intercession breaks.
So in the state of Michigan, the superintendent can set the first day of school. It's one of the things on the union side we can't negotiate. So our superintendent in DPSCD the last 4 or 5 years has decided he wants to start pre-Labor Day, which really sucks for me. Like my official start date, since I'm a lead teacher, is next Thursday. So.
Ooh. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Did they give you guys any particular reason as to why they started early? Because that Labor Day tradition was many a decade. So
to get out sooner in June, and then 2, they try to capture as many students as possible. The downside is we still have some parents that wait till after Labor Day to send their kids. Mm-hmm. I've already had 2 students tell me, well, I'm going to be on vacation still that first week of school. And they're like, well, I'm hitting the ground running on Monday, so I don't know what to tell you.
Well, baby, you're going to be a little bit behind.
Not starting class feeling.
These parents like, y'all do what y'all do. We going to do what we do. So, okay.
So I'm a Labor Day baby. I was actually born on Labor Day. And when I was growing up, the first day of school was usually the day before, day of my birthday. Mm-hmm. Depending if it was like skip year, my birthday may fall on Labor Day. So it just depended upon. But, Mama Neal didn't care. Mm-mm. You was backpacking hand, pencil, all that birthday shenanigans. Yeah, you're going to be in that seat, buddy.
At the end of July, you had already got your stuff. You had went school shopping. You had got them shoes.
Cold-blooded. So when I hear today kids still be on vacation when school start, I'm like, what is these new parents?
Right.
What is going on? Now, there's been a lot of conversation online about the infamous supply list. The school supply list that you teachers hand out to parents, okay? The conversation is teachers give out the supply list for individual students. The list is quite extensive. In parents' mind, they're like, it's no way my child needs all of this. It's no way that just my child alone is using these supplies. It's very obvious it's being shared with other kids. Parents feel as though it's not their responsibility financially to cover the cost of other kids' supplies. Other people may feel it's a community effort because there's always going to be the haves and have-nots.
Yeah, so it's going to be a shortage
teachers
somewhere.
Try to make sure that all kids have all things.
Right.
Now, as the teacher, do you have any parents that out of your career that came to you and been like, this supply list is done and I'm not covering the cost for these other kids?
Did you get a sigh?
Yeah. It was a deep inhale, exhale.
Because I think some parents forget most teachers are parents too, so we deal with supply lists. I've been back to school shopping for my kids, so I understand the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Second thing, I don't think parents really realize how much of our own money go into the classroom.
Right.
I mean, pens, pencils, highlighters, I don't give back that I buy myself.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, you always going to have parents that complain and just come with the territory. My list is the list. It ain't going to change.
I'm double downing on it.
So you can confirm that the supplies are shared with the class. And not just individual students, because we got teachers writing their names on, parents writing their names on pencils.
Or engraving them. You know how you can order those specialized pencils with the kids' names on there?
I mean, in some cases, it depends on the classroom. Like some teachers, this community. The stuff that's on my list, your child gonna need. So if you don't get it, like, your child needs this 3-subject notebook. It's not being shared. Like, I only take assignments in black ink, so you can choose not to get it or what have you. Your child needs this folder, it needs a composition book. It's on you. None of this, the community stuff, I actually provide, like the markers, the pens, the Sharpies. Like, I'll probably spend a good $1,000 just on.
Wait a minute. Make me lose my breath.
Wait a minute, Rodney.
Make me lose my breath. He said $1,000. So you got parents on the internet griping over an extra $20 in pencils, and you say you spend about $1,000 within a school year just on supplies alone.
On average, yeah.
Average.
Okay, so parents.
Hold on. Because he said average, meaning it can go above it or slightly below.
Yeah. Okay, parents, listen up. You hearing from an educator. If he's spending $1,000
on your kids,
and you complaining about $20 to $30 extra dollars, the math ain't mathing. I need the complaining to kind of simmer and just help the educators. Y'all know they got to deal with y'all kids for at least 8 hours a day. It's time to just pitch in. Listen to the educators. It's just like, I get it. And you want your classroom to run well. So kids don't have to lack. But the parents, y'all got to kick in.
I don't get it and I can't stand y'all. I don't get it and I can't stand y'all. This is what I don't understand. Okay. I'm a childless person.
Me too.
When I pay taxes, I don't get a discount on your child's free public education.
Absolutely not.
There's no stipend. There's no check I get in the mail, no rebate, no nothing.
Nothing.
That says, you know what, since you don't have a kid in this system, you get some of your money back.
Oh, that would be an extraordinary concept.
That would be an extraordinary concept. However, it's not realistic.
It's not.
To our circumstance, and it hasn't ever been that way. And I just find it so interesting that education is a community effort and people are so disconnected from the process. Like, it's almost like they don't even have a clue as to how this system works. So if people without children are helping you pay for your child's education. Because if we really want to talk about haves and has-nots, there's a such thing as private school.
Yes.
And guess what? Your broke self ain't sending your kid to private school.
No.
Yet you find it appropriate to complain publicly about sharing supplies when your child's entire education was free.
Yes.
Oh, that made my scalp itch.
So my question is, and I'm going to just play devil's advocate. Out of the parents that complain, how many come to the student teacher conference?
So the school I'm at now, it's actually a good percentage.
Okay.
I've seen anywhere from like 20 to 30 parents.
Mm-hmm.
Parenting conference out of, I think it's like 120, 130 kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been at schools, like one school in particular, like I saw 2 parents the
whole school year?
Yeah.
So you're saying
oh my Lord.
20 to 30 out of 100 and 150 is a good number in comparison to the 2. Because when you said 20 to 30 out of 100 and something, I was thinking I was going to get more like 60.
Yeah.
You get
the, and so here's the bad thing about that number. I had at 30, maybe only 5 of the parents are the parents of kids I really, really needed to see. So, but then you always get the end of the semester, end of the school year.
Oh, they beating your door down.
Rush or the email, what can my child to do that path? I'm like, this is a conversation we should have had months ago.
Rodney.
What do you think is the disconnect? Because I do notice that the parents who raise their children a certain way and are active in the entire rearing process of their kids, they're active in every single area. And those are usually the parents that show up. And those are usually the parents of the children that are well behaved.
Yeah, those the parents. I'll be like,
why are you here?
This gonna be a real quick conference.
Right. We ain't got much to talk about.
Yeah, so part of it I think is the parents themselves had a bad experience in school.
Okay. You think that's what it is? Really? Do explain.
So I just, from talking to some parents about why they more engaged in the child process, you find out school didn't go well for them, or they had a bad experience in school, or had a bad experience with teachers. And so that kind of leads into their child position in school and how they go about being an inactive or active participant in the school process.
Really? So basically, since they had a bad experience in school, they're okay with their child having a bad experience in school? Or are they not pushing the issue on it?
You get the ones that's not pushing the issue. You get the ones that be like, well, I know what you're going through. Basically, they empathetic. I mean, it's at the end of the day, you have a lot of parents that are basically trying to be their child's friend, and that's a dangerous territory to be.
It is because there has to be some discipline, because kids need discipline. So adults need discipline,
boundaries, and structure.
Yes, because if you're teaching them, oh, it's okay, that D is okay, that D is not okay. You having your report card looking like Freddie, Frank, field goal. No, that's not okay. You cannot have all F's on the report card.
It more so like the parents and the kid gets together like it's us versus the teacher?
That's, I've seen that happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's unusual.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of it, particularly in our community, is we have unrealistic expectations, or we started to realize things too late. Like I get a kid in 11th grade, they telling me they're going to U of M or Michigan State, but they got like a 2.3.
Hmm?
And so I'm like, your GPA don't match your actual expectations. And so, and then particularly like with like the ninth graders, they don't realize usually how serious like messing up your ninth grade year.
Oh, absolutely.
Rest of your academic career.
Absolutely. That's when you start your foundation, ninth grade. If you start off and you got a 1.0 in ninth grade, it's going to take you till you graduate to impact that.
And sometimes you never recover.
Never.
Yeah, and then I think, and I actually had this conversation with a family member about their kid when they were at my high school, actually. And he was like, well, he's in high school now. Like, he got to figure out he on his own now. And I think being a Black community, because I've heard more than one parent say something like that, high school is where you need to be even more hands-on. They need your guidance and support even more.
I agree. So why do you think the parents take their hands off?
The kid, 14, 15, 16, they at the age where some parents get frustrated because they teenagers. I get it. I deal with the kid every day.
Right.
I get the mouth, so it's kind of easier to just be hands off, and they're gonna be who they are. And then, to be honest, some parents be using, like, I've had kids and have them in school because they gotta take care of their siblings. And
so we still in that era where older siblings have to step in and be the adult while either the parents are absent for numerous reasons. So they're missing school. Then we got the other side of it where parents are just solely taking their hands off their kids because either they're clashing, because we know once them hormones hit, it could be an all-out warfare from 13. It's something about between 12 and 13.
So they get musty.
Ooh, between 12 and 13.
Yeah, I got a 14-year-old, so I get it.
Yeah, so they like, I'm not about to argue with you. You just be who you gonna be, and they just take their hands completely off of it. That's both scenarios sound dangerous.
Very. It's also very dangerous if you're a friend to your child all the way up until high school, and then when it's time for those discipline and boundaries and action to really take place, you don't have a foundation. You don't have a leg to stand on.
No.
Because in that child's mind, we've been operating this way for how many years?
Right.
And now all of a sudden you want to hold me accountable to a standard that we've never lived in.
Right. Like, mom and daddy, why y'all tripping?
Exactly. And you haven't been tripping.
Right.
The kid got a point.
And
true.
Parents, I'm just gonna keep it real. Teachers know, like, y'all come to conferences, y'all put on a good show, but we know. The moment you walk out the door, we'll be like, oh, that's why they act the way they act.
Mm-hmm.
And like, yo, kids, they talk about y'all during the school day, so we know. we know what y'all allow at home, who getting the Airbnb for them to do whatever, and
kids do talk,
and who's smoking with their parents, and
kids will come up to you. My daddy in jail.
Mm-hmm. Him and my uncle got in a fight last night, and they both went to jail.
You got some gum?
Mm-hmm. And walk smooth off.
Yeah, even the big kids, they
yeah, because I feel like when they do you like that, they need a safe outlet. Like, look, Mr. Fresh, I'm going through this at the house. And that you're their safe place to come and say these things. So now you done built this wall of confidence. And then when this parent come waltzing in, you like.
And some kids, they are reaching out for guidance.
They
as
are.
Much as some of these parents think it's in good nature to be friendly with their kid, at that age when you're a teenager, you're starved for guidance
and direction,
like direction, boundaries, discipline. Like, they're not looking for a friend. No. It may seem that way on the surface, but no, they're not looking for friends at that age. Seriously, not in the parental figure anyway.
No, because when I was in high school, we had guidance counselors. Like we had our teachers that we could talk to.
And the guidance counselors, they overwhelmed right now.
I bet they are, because it's like back then we had guidance counselors. Basically, they would just bring you in and reel you in and be like, look, I need you to do better in this class so your GPA can stay here. I need you to fill out these applications for the SAT, ACT, and all the other tests. I need your MEEP. I don't even know if do they need the MEEP test anymore. That's I'm telling my age.
Something similar. It's the INF step.
Okay. And then they would be like, okay, based on your GPA. See, that's where you said the kid got a 2.3 and they trying to go to state in Michigan. Our guidance counselor be like, hey, your GPA is this. These are your options. They kept it so honest.
I will say when I was in high school, the guidance counselor was not the best. And it was due to them being overwhelmed. It changed. Like, just in the time frame that you went to school from I went to school, it was overwhelming.
Yeah, you gotta, because like in the state of Michigan, the average counselor now has like 350 kids.
Oh my God.
So like last year, like this year, we're blessed. We'll have 2 counselors. Last year, we only had 1.
For the whole school?
The whole school. Social worker that is split between 3 different schools.
That is disappointing.
1 social worker for 3 schools is crazy.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, so that's also an issue. Like teachers are asked to do so much more. I don't even think parents realize, because I'm not only a teacher, I play counselor, I play big brother, I play therapist, I play support system.
Sometimes you have to be the grocery man because them babies come to school hungry.
Yeah, I've had to do that. I've had to buy prom tickets. I've had to help buy homecoming dresses, and so like when parents laugh about like or complain about the supply list, it's like you don't really realize everything that I done came out of pocket to do.
Yeah, it's just a huge disconnect. So when I saw that discourse, it's just like how entitled and just the loss of community, not understanding all the logistics that go into your kid having the education. And honestly, that kid next to your kid that doesn't have the supplies is the very kid that'll hold up the rest of the class from learning.
Right.
Because usually they're going to be disruptive. They're going to cause a situation to where now the teacher is lacking on time because they're managing this kid that doesn't have simple supplies.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, I teach 140 kids. That's 140 different personalities. That's 140 different home issues coming every day.
I'm going to pray for your peace of mind this school year and all teachers, because 100 and who?
This year it'll be like 140. I think the most I've had is like 180. So.
So how long have you been teaching, Mr. Fresh?
This will be year 18.
Okay, so you're closer to 20 years. And that's enough time to see a generational gap from the time you started till at this point in time. What has been the changes over the years from the kids of 18 years ago
to now? Yeah.
So my first group, those still my babies. They like I still talk to a lot of them from that group. One of the things that I know is different. They were goal oriented. Like they understood backwards mapping, kind of backward planning. I want to go here, so this is what I need to do. Much more collective. So much so, like with one of my first groups, like I could put their GPAs on the board in front of each other. And talk to, okay, you got an F in math. I'm about to help you with math. Like you got a D in this. I'm about to. So it was much more collective. The parents were much more involved.
Community based.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have some parents, trying to be they kid friends, but there were boundaries. There were parents, and parents understood the teacher's role, kind of, they were much more thankful. Like, I had a kid go to jail. Like, I was one of the first phone calls the parent made.
Wow.
Went to his court date, so all of that, put him on punishment. Like, the parent basically told me, if he do anything in school, they don't need to call me. You can handle it.
Wow. So they relinquished their child to you like that.
Now and I feel like it's getting progressively worse every year. These kids now, they don't really, the drive isn't there. I don't see it. For some it is, but few and far between.
Wow, few and far in between.
Is it like an entitlement thing? Like they feel like they don't have to, like it's supposed to be given to them?
Yeah, they it's very much entitlement. Like, they don't feel like they should have to work to actually get something. And part of that is the teacher's fault. Like, I hate when teachers feel like, oh, it's the beginning of the year, everybody has an A. No, it's the beginning of the year in my class, everybody has a 0. You have an F. You have to work to earn your A.
I agree with that. I agree with your method, because it's like, no, everybody don't have an A. You got to work up to get an A.
Do you think there's an element of hopelessness with this generation?
I don't want to say it's hopelessness. Part of me feels like they believe people don't have faith in them. So you do have like that small percentage, like, I'm gonna prove y'all wrong. I feel like there's some, in a lot of cases, they crying out for help and nobody's hearing them.
Okay.
Because like I said, teachers is overworked, social workers are overworked. You got parents working 2 and 3 jobs. Like, I get it. Like, it's a lot going on.
So basically, they're being ignored by all the adults, and they're just
from every direction.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny. Like, a couple of years ago, one of my former students tagged me in a post on Facebook, and it was like with Ellen posed him, like Future and all these other rappers. It was like the one teacher that gets along with all the bad kids. But I'm like, that's definitely me, because one, I don't really see kids as bad. Like, if you're considered bad, like, it's kind of like my goal to figure out why.
Yeah.
It's something going on. But I do feel like by the time I get a lot of kids in high school, they've been labeled and they started to live up to them labels. Like the kid I went to see in jail, like, I remember one of the first conversations I had with him, and he was like, well, I'm not going to be nothing. I'm like, why do you believe that? He was like, well, the teacher told me I wasn't going to be nothing. So that was.
So he just fed into that. And when he or she broke him down, he just like, well, I'm going to stick there.
Words have so much power. And it's very rare that you're going to come across an actual bad kid. Like, it's very, very rare that you're going to find a kid that's inherently bad. It's almost an anomaly.
Even when I worked at one of the most notorious schools on the east side, like, now got to know like one of the biggest gang members in the school. He would do whatever I asked because he knew I cared. Like, I sat down, found out he could barely breathe.
Oh my God.
We would work on reading together after I got everybody else started. Like, he got to the point, like, he would get his work from other classes and come to my room.
And we're talking about the east side of Detroit.
Yeah.
East side of Detroit.
The 48205 east side of
the infamous.
You know what? That breaks my heart, because it took you to realize he couldn't read. And why would other teachers just pass him on and not hone into that? Why would it wait until he got to you, who actually cared, to make sure this baby could read? Because that way he could now understand his other work. Because if you can't read, you can't solve no story problem.
So, and this is one of the issues for just education in America in general. Like, it's a factory system.
Okay. Okay.
Like, especially like when standardized tests was introduced, and the state and the nation wants you to meet certain metrics.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have 30 different personalities, 30 different skill levels all in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only one of you. And you got to figure out how I'm going to either reach all these kids or I'm going to get my biggest bang for the buck. And then, like I said, I don't really think it's a bad kid, but you also, as an educator, sometimes it's like, well, I know they don't really care anyway, so I'm just going to focus on the ones that care.
So you can't, so some of your peers who are educators, they'll fall into that trap. Like, I'm just going to focus on who going to
save the ones who want to be saved.
Right. And just let whoever else fall by the wayside.
So, and then a lot of times that's when you meet the parent or you find out the parent not involved or you find out, hey, the parent was also a gang member. Like you see these cycles. And in some cases, as an educator, you got to decide, am I going to try to break this cycle? Like, what's worth it? Because I've had parents mad at me because me and their kid is close.
And we talked about that in the auntie episode.
Yeah.
Where parents feel away when kids seek out other adults as their safe space, and that adult helps the kid and they feel more comfortable with the other adult.
Yeah, go back and listen to our auntie episode, and we really touch on the issues with parents you basically disconnecting from the village and going against the grain in that belief that it takes the community to raise children. Here we have an educator who's saying, I'm willing to be a part of the community, but for whatever insecurity the parent may have in their lack, they decide to lash out as opposed to accept the help.
Accept the help.
Yeah, like I had a parent mad at me because I tell their daughter every day I love them. Tell all my kids I love you. I actually got it from, I was watching a YouTube video. It's called How to Fix a Broken School.
Mm-hmm.
And the principal is a principal in Philadelphia, and she said,
I love him. I love him.
Basically, every single day, tell the kids I love you no matter what.
Yep, I think I follow him on Instagram. Like, he play music in the morning. He hug. I think they're like elementary school.
Yeah, but even high school kids need hugs. I hugged one of my high school male students a couple years ago. Like, he broke down crying. He was like, "You the first male that's ever hugged me and tell me you love me." Like, that shouldn't be
a thing.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a thing.
And it shouldn't be the first time that a male hugged him. It's like, we got to strip away that boys don't need to be hugged. They do. But not just by, the aunties, the mamas, the grannies, they gonna hug. But men, sometimes you just need that bro hug, and just to let them know you're safe. That's sad. That makes me sad. So what hurdles do you think you will approach going into this new school year?
New school year, new hurdles. It's always interesting learning a new group, of new personalities, but parents is always a hurdle. You can never know what type of parent you're going to get.
Do y'all have the meet the parents welcoming for the new school year, or is that like down the line?
So we've already done some orientations.
Okay.
We did a back to school expo. So some of them, a small minority I met. Some of them I've had their siblings already.
Okay.
So I kind of have a background.
So you got a little bit of a rapport there.
This year, I know it's going to be probably difficult for the parents and students in my room, particularly because I'm going to what's considered a flipped classroom approach.
Mm-hmm.
So,
explain that. What's the flipped classroom approach? What's that?
So normally the stuff like I teach history, so like normally the stuff that I would lecture on, it would be a PowerPoint. Like I've pre-recorded all of that, and you have to watch it at home. And then the assignments that you do in class are going to be like grouped in individual assignments based on the lecture and stuff that you should have watched at home.
Okay.
I love that approach.
Okay. So it's both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that.
Because it requires more collaboration in the classroom.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I already have students fighting over who's going to be my favorite student. I think it's always hilarious. Which is funny because I always, every year I tell the student, whoever is my favorite student, they know.
Okay. It's like, we ain't got to fight about it. The ones know, they know.
Outside of the parents and the students, what do you think is one of the biggest struggles for teachers on the administrative side? Like, what is a big change that you think administrations can make that could make a huge impact?
I don't know if it's necessary because so another thing most people don't get is a lot of paperwork being a teacher. So if you got students for 504, which is basically a behavior modification plan or an IEP, individual education plan for your special needs students, like you have to make accommodations, you have to document accommodations, you have to show up at the IEP meeting. Like, so I don't think people realize, like, if I could just go in and teach and not have to worry about IEPs, 504s, standardized testing, district testing, state testing, like, cool. So it's so many days of instruction I lose just based on testing.
Really? Wow. And so how do they break up? Like, is it like, I know it's a season of testing. So how have they broken that up throughout the school year so you all aren't overwhelmed with, okay, we got another testing season?
It's still, even though you know it's on the calendar, it's still overwhelming. So like the third week of school, like they'll take the district baseline test.
Just to see where everybody's at?
Yeah.
Okay.
October, November-ish, they'll take a PSAT.
So what is that?
Basically, kind of gives us a baseline of where they're at on the SAT, which is for the state of Michigan, one of the required standardized tests that all 11th graders take in April.
Okay.
December, they'll take another district.
Yeah, dog.
Wait a minute. Rodney, you... That's only months apart.
Yeah, December they take another.
Actually, it's weeks apart.
Yeah, they'll take another district mid-year assessment to see where they're at. In January, they have final exams. February is a pretty chill month as far as testing. March is another PSAT. April is the king of testing months.
Oh yeah, I remember April.
PSAT, SAT, MSTEP, ACT work keys.
Oh my God.
Then you get to May. If they have an AP class, AP exams are that first and second week of May usually. And then
this is a trap.
Yeah. And then that third and fourth week of May are usually just the end of year district assessments.
Okay, so
Rodney, I'm exhausted.
Yeah. My brain was like,
I'm exhausted for you.
So these metrics, I know some of them, gives them baseline understanding of educational progress, which is understandable. The district should know where students are generally, so that way you can make accommodations to the text, right? That's what that information is used for. I'm assuming. What is that information used for, and who has access to all of these metrics?
So the district assessments, the district, the principals, the teachers, we all have access to it. The issue becomes is actually having time to actually examine the matrix. the average work day for myself, I get there at 7, prep my room. Kids are there at 8. I teach first and second hour. 10 o'clock is my prep hour. Okay. It's from 10 to 11 is my prep hour. So then I'm teaching 4th and 5th hour, 12:30 to 1. I go to lunch and then I finish the day. So in the midst of that, giving instructions, I got to get feedback on assignments, right? I got to grade the feedback. I also do the school website.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home.
Rodney, look.
He ain't done with his day.
Look.
And wait, that's if I get a prep, because if somebody called in and we don't have a sub, I may have to cover class, which means I'm teaching straight through the day.
You know what? I'm going to stay in my lane. I work in healthcare. While you deal with their kids, I'm just going to deal with the parents.
So then after school, I'm tutoring. I gotta go get my own kid. Gotta go help him with his homework, right? So 7, 8 o'clock at night, I'm
exhausted.
But I'm still looking at data. Like,
he's still grading papers. He's still looking at information.
So that's also because it's not unusual for me to be up at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, grading papers, prepping a lesson for tomorrow.
Rodney, I'm gonna pray I ain't gonna pray for strength. I'm gonna pray for peace.
So when people say, well, you get the summers off, the reality is
you're doing all this overtime.
I put in probably every week an additional 25 to 40 hours of stuff that I'm taking home. Sundays, I'm prepping for the week, right? And now we have this wonderful creation teams where students can text me.
Oh, Jesus.
Right. So, some teachers are, I'll take text between this and that. I'll try to do that, but I'm also the teacher, like, the kids need me, so let me make myself available. On top of, I got a family.
I feel like being married to an educator is the equivalent of being married to an officer, a firefighter,
a doctor,
EMT worker. Like, you guys are first responders.
Yes.
Just the same.
Yes.
As the rest of them. It's definitely one of those careers to where you are married to the career right along with your spouse.
That's what I said. I'm gonna stay in my lane.
Yeah, and so it's interesting because, like, my wife, because, like I said, a lot of my former students, like, I have a former student in particular, like my little sister. I call her as a little sister. I never had, like, we talk weekly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not unusual for me to get, like, phone call or a text, hey, I need help, or can you help me with this? Like, I've driven in Michigan State, I've driven in Grand Valley, I pretty much have driven around because I tell my students, like, anybody can graduate from high school. My job is to make sure you're a successful adult, whatever that looks like for you. And I think that's another issue with this generation. Like, they measure success based on what they see on social media, and everybody putting their best foot forward on social media. Nobody posts their problems.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You're right.
So I tell them, don't measure success by what you see your friends doing. What is it going to look like for you to be a successful adult? And that worked for that.
Wow. That is just...
Right. You overwhelm me.
Just listening to it. But I knew it was more. It's an iceberg career.
It is.
You only see the little peak, but it's so deep and in
like
depth.
In the summer, like, I didn't teach summer school, but I was doing school improvement. So you was asking about the data. So like this summer, I'm looking at the data. We're looking at trends. We're trying to make adjustments. You try to the best of your ability, interpret the data. Now, some kids just aren't good test takers too.
Right.
So
right.
sometimes you look at the data and you look at the kid like this is not truly reflective of the kid, which is not, to me, one of the biggest pitfalls is we overtest the kids. Like, y'all gotta utilize it by me going through the schedule. I promise you by April, them kids look like zombies taking tests.
What you just described from the 3rd week of school to January, that sounds like it's way too much.
And it I'm gonna be honest, it feels highly suspicious to me because in high level academia, you're not taking tests like that.
So
is it for educational purposes or is it about something else?
So I always joke with it. Pretty much all my principals, what are we doing this for? Are we doing this just for compliance because the district wants us to do it? Like, what's the goal here?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's funny because we have I have a new teacher in my department. And so the other day, like, we were talking and she was like, well, how strictly do I have to follow the curriculum? I said, I don't care if you don't follow the curriculum as long as you do the standards. Like how you get, because what works in my first hour is not going to work in my 5th hour.
Okay.
You know, what maybe works in my 6 hours, it all depends on a group of kids.
Right.
And so,
because you're getting them at different points of the day.
Like I thought it was like when Donald Trump and what was the Moms to Liberty wanted to teach her lesson plan. Like, you can have my lesson plans all you want. I can guarantee you my lesson plan 1st hour can look completely different than my lesson plan 5th hour, because it's some days like you think you got this really bomb.com lesson. You get 15 minutes into it, you're like, damn, let me pivot because it ain't
right.
So, and then
the Moms of Liberty has spent their entire time here on Earth getting on everybody's nerves,
and causing division and raising hell. Let's keep it honest.
Drag them hoes another day.
Ooh,
yeah, but
because it's coming.
And I think that's another disconnect that parents have. Like, you can have the best curriculum, the best lesson in the world. If you don't have a relationship with the kids, like, your lessons is going to suck for the whole year.
Yeah, because for a lot of teenagers, it has to be a mutual respect. It's a shift now. They don't just see adults as authoritative figures because they've seen so many examples of adults being just crappy human beings. And I think with the access of information being at their fingertips, for us, all we knew was the adults we saw in person and what they said went.
So and that's it. And so you have that division now in teaching, right? You have teachers that embrace technology and embracing AI, embracing all this other stuff. And you got some teachers that's just not going to get on the bandwagon.
They old school.
And so part of my issue as an educator is what's worth my time to enforce.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because I can spend all day telling you to put up your cell phone, but if I spend 20 minutes telling the class, everybody put up your cell phone, like, get off your cell phone, do this, do that, like, I'm wasting valuable precious time. So, like, how can I create lessons that's going to engage the cell phone? Right. That's going to engage AI? How can I teach you responsibly how to use AI? How can I teach you responsibly to find good news sources?
And speaking of AI, how concerned are educators with the ushering in of AI? Because we've seen what it is at the collegiate level, where AI is basically writing people's resumes, their papers, and everything. At this level, with the high school age, how concerned are you all with AI?
It depends on who you ask. So there is a level of concern. I just went to a workshop on AI in education. There are a lot of wonderful tools. The AI provides, as an educator, time-saving tools. It's going to make checking papers a whole lot easier for me. As far as students, like, teaching them how to use it responsibly. Because You get papers. By November, December, I know how you write.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I go up to a kid, pronounce this word. Tell me this definition.
Right.
They looking stuck on.
Use this in a sentence, but the reality is they're going to use it.
Okay. Right.
So me as an educator, I need to teach you how to use it responsibly. I need to teach you when to use it, when not to use it. If you're going to use it, how to cite it.
Right.
I also need to teach you that you can't find everything on AI, right?
Correct.
Because I might tell you, okay, we're talking about the assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy today. Yeah, you can look that up on AI. But if I ask you what was the cause and effect of that, now I need you to use your own understanding. So AI can give you a baseline.
Right.
But not the full.
Like a bullet point to build off of.
I'm seeing it as an automated Cliff Note. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How we used to have Cliff Notes back in the day is just automated now.
But you always had those kids, even back then, that will copy and paste a Cliff Note and then be so ridiculous looking at their grade. Like, how did I not pass this?
Here's where I'm concerned as far as us as Black people, right? Because majority of students I ever taught have been Black. Like,
put it on the flow, right?
95%.
Put it on the flow.
Let me hold y'all hand because it sounds like something coming.
We use technology usually for some stuff that ain't gonna make us no money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there are tons of influencers now, but we were kind of last to get on that bandwagon.
Right.
AI is here. We need to be teaching how to, because AI, for all this greatness, is going to eliminate some jobs, right? Like the cell phones eliminated pay phones, phone lines, and all this. Like when technology come, like it take email basically, and then got rid of the U.S. Postal Service. How can we get our kids on the front line so they ahead of the curve and not playing catch up? That's the question we need to be answering.
I agree.
And that's the fundamental issue I think that this generation has for education, because let's be real, you have to teach them the class I'm teaching. Why is it? Why do you need it?
Yeah.
Because one thing I will say about this generation, they gonna ask you, why I need to know this?
They sure will. They don't want no information they really don't need.
Right. Because they will ask, am I going to use this in 10 years? And if the answer is no, the disinterest will grow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's immediate.
It's immediate.
So that's why I say we need to figure out how, as a African-American community, and I love like they do Tech Saturday down at the train station, but I don't see 14, 15s. Like I see some 20-year-olds, but it needs to be high school students involved in that.
Right.
How do we actually get them involved in the cutting edge of AI?
How do we give high school students more agency to make these decisions separate from their parents? Because a lot of them just don't see the options in their circumstances.
Yep.
To be able to have access to these things. Because like Black Tech Saturdays is totally free.
Yeah. So that's where you have to, and we as a community fail, because there was a quote that basically said, you can't be what you can't see.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I know at our school, like we do career days. My principal called me to plug because I know people from every walk of life. But that's where teachers come in. Like, you may not have a doctor in your family, but I know doctors. Like,
right.
Like, I'll try to gauge your interest. Oh, you want to do this? So let me try to connect you with such and such. Oh, you want to go into mechanical engineer? I know one. Let me connect you. You might not be able to make it to Black Tech Saturday, but like I know Rachel Simone, that was one of the panelists on Text. Let me have her come to school. And then Black people, we gatekeep
Indeed.
We got a bunch of people that got serious knowledge that refuses to give it to other people because I guess they scared somebody gonna catch them.
It's a trauma response.
It is.
My mentor basically said he want to die empty.
And I agree with him because I always say if I'm the smartest one in the room, I'm in the wrong room. Yes, because you have to give that information up. You can't take it with you.
And then that's the other thing. Like even with teaching, yeah, I'm the teacher. I'm the brains of the operation, but I can learn something from a 15, 16-year-old.
I know you can because I know they be like,
they be teaching me.
They be like, Mr. Fresh, and they be asking you some question you wouldn't even think is formulating their mind, and then you like, how did we arrive here?
Yeah, so that's another thing. Like, you can't be so high and mighty that you're afraid to learn from. Just because they my student don't mean I can't learn from them.
I agree.
And you can't operate in life with a closed fist.
No.
You know, it just doesn't work that way. You have to be able to keep the door open when you walk through it. Reach back for people. Sometimes you got to circle around and be like, yes, come through the door. Sometimes you got to hold a person's hand through the door.
First of all, I got the window open. Crawl through. Come on.
And so part of that is also, and I know a lot of educators, is this, I mean, we're under a microscope daily.
Mm-hmm. And I feel bad for y'all. I honestly do because it's like, y'all literally have to be the nucleus for these children.
They got to satisfy so many parties.
You under a microscope, you under a microscope, and like you have to be, in order to get the kid where you need them to get, you have to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And sometimes like you got to take risks that would be frowned upon. Like there are certain kids that do have my cell phone number.
Mm-hmm.
All my colleagues have my cell phone number. You have to tell a kid I love you. You have to hug a kid. Like the kid can't learn from somebody that they think don't like him.
Exactly.
Yes. Can you say that one more time, please?
Double down on it, Rodney.
The kid will not learn if they think you dislike them.
Yes.
I always say, like, I think my biggest accomplishment as an educator is not that I know the content, I can perfect the lesson. It's that I build a relationship with the kid. Like I can tell you pretty much by October something about each kid in my room. By December, January, like I have kids that come talk to me about any and everything. I have kids that would rather just get their work and be in my room because it's a safe space for them.
I will say educators, that's something within their hearts to have that talent to connect with the youth is a God-given talent. It's not something that you can be trained in a conference on. It's not something that you can get a PhD on. It has to be inherently you to have.
You got to have
of an educator.
Yes.
And so many people are in the profession and they don't necessarily have the heart. We talk about that with nursing.
Absolutely.
We talk about that with just about any field.
And that's when you, as like somebody that loves the profession, that's when you had that an easy conversation with them, like this might not be the profession for you. Like
right. And that is where I'm going with is like, are those conversations being had? If you see a educator who is not connecting with the students and it's kind of harsh, and the student's like, I don't like Mr. So-and-so, I don't like Miss, are those hard conversations being had with that educator?
So we're in a very unique place in education, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a teacher shortage for a number of reasons.
I knew that was coming. I just felt it. Right? Desperate times, desperate measures.
Yeah.
But you gotta, I mean, it's an honest conversation. It's a teacher shortage. It's vacancies across the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Conversations are being had, but what is that ultimately lead to, right? Because also on the union side, like I'm a union rep.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
I'm on the executive board of the union. Like they have rights. Like there's a whole process to get rid of a bad teacher.
Right.
Now, the conversation that I usually have, and I've had this recently with an educator, this your profession. Like, you either gonna do X, Y, and Z to keep your damn job. If nothing else,
right.
Try to keep your bills paid.
keep your job.
Right.
But also, like, the kids, no matter what you think about the kids, right? They deserve your best.
Right.
And so if you can't give them in this day, like, I've apologized to a kid, like, I'm having a day, I'm having a moment, like,
yeah.
And that's the other thing, like, it's very powerful. Like, I forgot what I said to a kid, but afterwards I was like, I need to apologize to you. Like, I shouldn't have said that. And they was like shocked, like, you actually apologized. And I was like, I was wrong. Like, I would expect you to apologize. So I can't expect you to apologize for something that I not be the example.
Right.
But where do we go from here is always the question that's at the front of my mind. Because last year it was a very rewarding but challenging year, right? I had some issues with some kids that I've never had before. I've had parents questioning, my role and why was they students so close to me. I'm like, I don't want anything. Like, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. Like, I always used to get asked by students, like, why are you a teacher? Like, you should be a politician. You should do this. You should do that. Like, you got all the talent, all these people, but I don't plan on leaving until God tells me to leave. And the sad thing is, being a Black male educator is only just like 1.8% of us nationwide. And it's for different reasons, pay, what we have to go through.
So many intersections of what it would be like a minority in a position like that. First of all, men in a predominantly child space in itself has a certain connotation.
It does.
And it's not really a safe space.
Yeah, some people, I mean, even recently, some people have made it bad for,
It's some bad examples. Yeah.
And so, like, I told a parent, I get it.
Yeah, the concern is there because
it's a valid concern.
We've seen so many teachers. This teacher had a baby with this student, and it's been going on for 2 years, and teachers using their power. This student is spending the night with the teacher. So I get the concerns from the parent, but from the side that you're speaking on, it's more of like, I'm just being that go between you and your parent to be the safe space where you can come and talk to me about things that you're going through that you might not necessarily feel comfortable with.
I'm like, hey, parent, X, Y, and Z is going on like this. Did you know this?
Right.
And then, I get messages all the time from kids like, you the reason why I graduated. Like I just got a message from a student that's going to Ferris State, and he was like, I've never had a male figure in my life. Just thank you for just being there. I love you. Like,
that's what's up. And see, that's the gratitude of it all. It's like you're seeing the change that you want. And that's I can appreciate that, because you want to know that you're making a difference in these children's lives, because you want them to grow up and be productive citizens of society. And seeing that you help them, that let you know, yes, God put me in this position so I can be the change that I want to see.
When you get messages like that, I'm sure it's validation for.
Yeah.
It's some validation, and it's fuel to keep going, because
yes,
you have your days to be like, I could go to a Fortune 500 company and do X. I could go work for
corporate training and
ex-politician and do X, Y, and Z. Like, I just finished the training. The guy was like, oh, you should come work for us.
But you don't want to leave your babies.
Yeah, they my babies. Like, one of the hardest decisions I had to make is when I left the high school in the 48205. Like, people were like, why was this so hard? Like, the 48205, like, I love the kids and they loved me genuinely. Like, so that was, and people don't realize that from the end of August now to June. Your kids they my children. They my family. I love them like they my actual kids.
Right.
And you should want a teacher that take your kids' life seriously.
Absolutely.
That's the ultimate educator, in my opinion.
I agree.
If you send your kid away and they're here for so many hours a day, you're off at work, you're not in contact with them. Why wouldn't you want somebody that is going to care about their safety and their well-being on the same level, if not more?
And nourish their brain so they can learn and maybe one day follow in your footsteps and be an educator themselves. You might be the one that sparked that interest. Like, well, Mr. Fresh, that was my teacher. He was dope. I want to be an educator like him. Like, why wouldn't you want somebody that's going to feed into your child and nourish that? I don't see that as a negative. I see that all as positive.
Well, Mr. Fresh, going back to your previous comment about the parents and their experience in school, if they struggled, if they didn't have teachers that loved them the same way, to me, it seems like almost they're visualizing or viewing their child's experience through their own experience. And then it's almost like a trauma response of, I can't trust that a teacher like this exists.
So there is a way to get around that.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something we can do better in the education setting, is I don't always think parent-teacher conference should take place at the school. Because for some parents, it is trauma to go inside of a school building.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it would exactly work, but having conferences or having meetings off-site, because for some parents, like I said, it is traumatizing in the classroom. I am the authority figure per se, so like it's my grounds. Where if we met off-site at a neutral site, okay, it's nobody's ground. And then like my message for parents is like just being involved. Like you don't necessarily have to come to conferences, but call, check in. Like especially, I'm always excited when like I see a male parent in general. So, just be aware. Like I had a student that basically was like, my dad think he entitled to X, Y, and Z because he do this one thing. Like, they was like, that's not being a parent. Like,
right.
And you have parents like that. I pay the bills. That's all you can get out of me, and that's all I have available to get.
And get out my face.
So,
yeah,
parents, be more involved.
Yes.
Mr. Fresh, was there any final words you would like to give to the people?
Yes, going for this new school year, give for the students and for the parents.
So for the students, just my word for this school year has been vulnerability. Like that's one of the words I said to my principal when we were summer planning. I was like, this is going to have to be a year where the staff is vulnerable. So parents and students, like, be vulnerable. Do something that you've never done before. Like if you've never been to a parents conference, come. If you've never been to like a back to school night, come. Just stop by, walk in on your student class. Like we always love to see parents, and then students just give your best effort. Like if you give your best effort, like that's 90% of the battle right there. And parents, get your kids to school on time.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Like when we talk about chronic T action, like that's a whole different podcast. Like I can't teach somebody that ain't there. So.
So you heard Mr. Fresh. Get the babies to school on time. Show up, and students engage. It's okay to engage. Don't let nobody stunt your growth. We want y'all to rise, and we want y'all to be great this school year and going forward. So thank you, Mr. Fresh. We appreciate you so much for this episode.
You dropped several gems.
Yes. And we will see you guys next time.
Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend.
Yes.
Thank you for your support. Till next time.
Love y'all. Bye.